Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside the Athletic and Wellness Center. Today we bring you the final home game of Colts athletics in the first semester, as the women's volleyball team will play host to the Georgian Grizzlies. Once again, welcome inside the Athletic and Wellness Center. My name is Jack Middleton, and I'm alongside Pedro Castellato back in the booth, helping me out for one final time here today. Pedro, welcome into the booth. Welcome back. And an exciting game, to end the first semester on.
Yeah, good evening, Jack. Good evening, everyone. I'm very happy to be back here with you, Leo, and everyone else. And I am very excited to be watching this game tonight. Historically, those two teams have gone head-to-head the entire season, both the women's and the men's team. So I'm really looking forward to see how that's going to show up tonight, how this head-to-head conference is going to impact both teams' season. And both teams having kind of polar opposite seasons so far. Georgian 4-2 on the season, sitting in 4th in the Eastern Division, while Centennial comes in 3-4. They sit 8th in the Eastern Conference. They have just been sliding all the way down. An injury-riddled season, Pedro. We got to talk about that a little bit. Jackie Ronquillo, one out, as well as Atra Katabi also out for the Colts. Yeah, very unfortunate situation for the Colts there. Very few key players not being able to participate on this game. We'll see how that's going to roll out. It's always an opportunity for them to show resilience, and volleyball is I like to say that volleyball is a one-day game, so anything can happen. Right? If they come out hot and aggressive, everything can go well. Absolutely, and in terms of the Colts, they've had a tough month, to be honest with you. 3 straight losses coming into today, obviously against George Brown, St. Lawrence, and Canadore in recency, while Georgian coming in this month 3-1, and all 3 victories coming on the road. They've had a tough road schedule, 6 games and 5 of them on the road, but Georgian has battled it very well. They've been one of the top teams in the OCAA for years now and continue to do it alongside some really, really big names in the OCAA. We talked about Ashton Smith. We also talked about Bella Heath, somebody we want to talk about, of course, a former Colt back in the building. She is not starting today. She's not in the starting lineup, but we, of course, will see her. She's played every game for Georgian, so we will see her today, but we want to give her a nice welcome back, of course. There we go. Excited to see how that's going to look like, right? Historically, too, Colts have taken the lead in the later conference. I believe they won 3 games out of the last 4 games they played. We'll see how that's going to impact tonight. And familiarity, of course, playing into that. With a bunch of injuries, you've got lineup changes here, there, and everywhere. With those 2 injuries we talked about, the starting lineup for Centennial, we may as well run it through since we got a couple minutes. And some newcomers on the board. Mariana Mercado Mejia is making a start, as well as Camille Ray Brown is somebody you want to highlight. The libero, the first year from Toronto, the local girl in town, making her first start of the season. Yeah, some new players getting an opportunity to show off tonight, and that's a very important thing, right? I believe if you want to be a winning team, your bench players will need to be ready to come into the court and play, right? It's not something that just happens. It requires a lot of personality, I believe. And today they got an opportunity to show their work, to show what they've been working for the entire season, and also an opportunity to show where they want to get, right? How they want this team to look like for the second half of the season. Absolutely. You want to bring any kind of momentum into that second half. Of course, this is the final game of the first semester for the Centennial Colts. We're going to end the pre-games here as I'm going to get a drink of water and get ready for the starting lineups. I'll send it down floor side to Ryan Miller for Ocaa Canada and the starting lineups.
Good evening, fans, and welcome to the Athletic and Wellness Center, home of your Centennial Colts. Colts women's volleyball is taking on the Georgian Grizzlies from Barry. Could I please ask you to rise and remove your cap for the playing of our national anthem? Introducing your starting lineup for the Georgian Grizzlies. From Barry, Ontario, 5'6" libero, number 4, Ashley Smith. From Barry, Ontario, 5'11", outside hitter, wearing number 6, Haley Carroll. From Barry, Ontario, 5'9", middle blocker, number 7, Brooklyn Smith. From Wayburn, Saskatchewan, 5'11", outside hitter, number 8, Emma Cox. From Scarborough, Ontario, 5'10", middle blocker and outside blocker, Patrice Shea Sealer. From Edmonton, Alberta, 5'9", center, number 12, Mackenzie Roy. From Milton, Ontario, the middle blocker, number 13, Tasha Nix. And head coach Danielle 10 in her 3rd season. Who's calling? The moment you've all been waiting for! Introducing your Colts starting lineup. From Ocaa, Colombia, a 5'2", number 2, Ariel Colombia. From Pickering, Ontario, a 5'8" outside hitter, number 4, Brady Geary. From Scarborough, Ontario, a 5'3" center, number 7, Kristen O'Reilly. From Scarborough,
Once again, welcome back inside the Athletic and Wellness Center. The Georgian Grizzlies versus the Centennial Colts. My name's Jack Middleton alongside Pedro Casalato, bringing you today's action between the Grizzlies and the Colts. For Centennial, we'll talk about the starting lineup before we get underway. Mariana Mercado Mejia is in, as well as Katie Deering, Kristen Dawn Ruiz, Camille Ray Brown making her first start, Jordan Haggerty, Andrea Rojas, Giovanna Poloski, and Sophia Arujo. For the Georgian Grizzlies, you've got Ashton Smith, Haley Carroll, Brooklyn Smith, Emma Cott, Patricia Seda, Mackenzie Roy, and Tasha Bakes. Of course, Georgian in their blue uniforms going right to left in set number one. Colts in their white and green going left to right. Pedro, going to be a good one. The Colts are going to get the first serve, I believe. Georgian's going to get the first serve.
Getting the first serve. Just looking at the stats here right now, getting a little bit of context in this game, right? You see Centennial going into with one of the best blocking teams in the league, right? They are currently sitting at second in block solo, and which matches a great defensive energy from the Grizzlies. So we'll see how that's going to happen. There we go, first dig here.
Set goes to the outside. Georgian plays it over. Set from Brown outside. Poloski rolls it over top and out the back. So the first point goes to the Grizzlies. Back to serve is Mackenzie Roy. The third year out of Edmonton, Alberta for the Grizzlies. Serve coming in, floated over. It's off the hands of Haggerty into the floor. And a missed pass from Jordan Haggerty, and Grizzlies are up 2.
That has been something that the Colts have struggled with since the beginning of the season. Their passing line seems to not have a lot of chemistry right now. They've got to work on that if they want to actually overcome the Grizzlies tonight.
Serve from Roy is a good one, dug out by Brown. The set from Ruiz into the middle of Rougeau. It's dug out by Smith. Grizzlies close side over top. Poloski digs it out. The set's going to go to Deering. It's through the hands of Roy and to the floor.
Great run there by the Colts. Very good play off the defensive. Also a very good defensive play by the Grizzlies, right? That's what we're going to expect all night. A very balanced game.
Katie Deering to serve for Centennial. The serve is fired into the net, and those struggles have started out so far today. I've talked to Coach Andrew Mallory many times. He's been on the broadcast a couple times and very open with the fact that his team struggles with service, both reception and serving period. Georgian serves floated over. Bray Brown gets there, but it's out on the other side of the court.
Strong start on the Grizzlies side right now. Wouldn't be too early for a timeout right now. Let's see if they can adjust right away.
It'll be Haley Carroll to serve. Carroll floats it over top. Brown the dig. Ruiz, one-handed set goes to Arujo, tips it over, and a nice dig from Smith to keep it alive. Colts have it now. Ruiz again goes into the middle, was looking for Arujo and a free ball. Georgian set into the middle. The swing goes off the hands of Ruiz and out the back. That was off the hands of Brooklyn Smith from the swing.
Great run there. Middle running a shoot far from the setter, dragging the Colts middle to the right.
Serve from Carroll. Brown dig. Ruiz going to set to Arujo over the top. Dug out momentarily by the Grizzlies. Smith unable to keep it in play.
A little bit of an adjustment by the Colts there. We got Arujo swinging the ball off the right side, usually a middle. It's in a strategy that you can use to split the block, right? Make the other team's middle run a little more, get there a little later, and have some more space to swing.
Arujo is serving. The dig is by Smith. They'll set down the close side to Emma Cott. Puts away her first point of the night.
Very consistent start on the Grizzlies side right now. They're playing defense really well, taking advantage of all the opportunities they get. Side out's pretty consistent. Right now leading by 4 points.
Serve from Smith, floated over. Deering handles it. The set from Ruiz. Far side is for Haggerty. The tip is missed. And to the floor as the Grizzlies out to a 5-point lead. So Smith will head back to serve. The Grizzlies have come out firing so far today. Smith's serve. That one is out the far side of the court as Haggerty makes up for the earlier mistake. That is as tight as possible down on that far line. A good call, though. As the Colts will send back Pelosi to serve. Serves off the tape. A dig from Smith momentarily out of the reach of Roy on the dive, and the ace for Giovanna Pelosi.
Good effort there by Roy, but not able to get that ball.
This one floated over by Pelosi. The Grizzlies go to the other side. That's Seda. Dug out by Deering. Ruiz and Haggerty run into each other. Grizzlies free ball as Deering keeps it alive for a little. A diving Pelosi couldn't get there, and another point Georgian.
Georgian right now being very creative with their middles, right? You saw them running a shoot earlier today. Now they ran a back shoot. A very diversified middle run.
Hard serve from Seda is handled. The Colts will go free ball. Pelosi gets blocked at the net. Probably didn't need to get blocked anyways, but the point will still go by the way of the Grizzlies, who now have a 9-4 lead. I would also be thinking timeout here, Pedro. Don't you worry. I'm in the timeout mindset right now, but Coach Mallory is opposite us, and it works out as Seda fires her serve into the net.
It is a good idea to leave your timeouts for like later through the set, but I believe if the other team, if Georgian is having a great start of the game, right, and calling a timeout just to reorganize, revisit some of the strategies, also a good idea.
Grizzlies tip it over the net. Ruiz now will set far side. Deering. The swing goes off the hands of Roy on the block and outside into the bench of Georgian.
I usually say that, and I'll say it again. Deering, when she's having a good game, it's really difficult to stop her. It's a player with a lot of potential, a lot of power, and I'm really excited to see how she's going to perform tonight.
You heard a big roar in the crowd. That's because Patricia Seda was subbed off, and Bella Heath making her appearance back on the floor. As the Colts struggling to maintain the ball they do with Deering. It's over for a free ball. Back row played over by Carroll. Ruiz will now set to Pelosi, and a nice dig from Smith. Close side. Grizzlies go quickly. The swing from Cott finds the floor in front of Camille Ray Brown.
Again, Georgian demonstrating a very good defensive game. Great up there, and a very opportunistic chance there on that counterattack.
And it shows Ashton Smith why she's one of the best liberos in the league. Second in digs per set, second in digs period in the OCAA. She's been one of the best and already shown it so far in 17 points of action tonight. The Colts have brought it back a little bit. They're down 3 early on in the first set. It's Andrea Rojas to serve. Floated over the net. Smith the dig. The set backwards goes off the hands of the block as Tasha Bates gets her first point on the swing. All started with that passing, Pedro. That play does not happen as smoothly.
Yeah,
if that pass wasn't good.
Struggling a little bit to break the passing line of the Grizzlies, but shout out to Roy, Mackenzie Roy. Very creative. Oh, there go another ace there.
That's Tasha Bates.
Yeah, Roy being very creative, using the middles a lot earlier in the set, and what I believe she's going to do later on the set is just use and abuse of the pins, right, the pin hitter. So you actually have the middle stuck with the other middle, and you got a much more smoother attacking line. And that ball's called out. Let's check again on the replay. I honestly didn't quite catch that.
Couldn't tell from angle. That is as...
Yeah, looking at the replay right now, it seems that it was close, but it was out.
It's as tight of a call as it can make. Some great camera views, of course, from producer Leo back there. A serve from Ruiz is handled. Grizzlies go 2-touch over the net. Roy plays it over, and the Colts can't regain their momentum as they spill into the bench from the dive from Haggerty, and a point Georgian.
Good reaction there by Brown, but not able to stop. Again, Mackenzie Roy, so far the name of the game.
Roy is back to serve for the Grizzlies. Roy, the serve is powerful. It's off the tape as Brown was able to dig it, but it's out of the reach on the pass to Ruiz, and another point Georgian as Mackenzie Roy's powerful serve is shown here.
Approaching the halfway mark. That was sad. Timeout might not be a bad idea.
The set's starting to slowly get away. The Colts were within 3 at one point earlier as the serve from Roy is floated out the backside of the Colts. And every time we talk timeout, the Grizzlies give a point back, and there's no reason for Coach Mallory to call one.
And the ball had a little bit of backspin.
Certainly not what you want to see on the serve with the backspin. It happens everywhere. As Deering's serve is handled by Seda. Roy back sets, looking for Carroll as it pops off the top of the net to the side of the floor. Colts, who will take the point as it was out.
Yeah, first mistake by the Grizzlies setter there. Try to push a little too hard, maybe accelerating the game a little too much. Ended up losing control of that ball.
Deering's serve is handled by Carroll. An athletic dig there. The swing in the middle goes off the tape and out of the reach of the diving Brown.
Those balls are going to be very important towards the end of the set, right? Colts being able to break the passing line on the Grizzlies side, but Grizzlies also able to improvise and capitalize on that chance.
The serve from Carroll. Deering's going to set into the middle. It'll be a quick touch over by Ruiz. Grizzlies go quickly into the corner, tipped over the net by Seda. The diving save from Brown goes over the net and out of play. Another point, Georgian.
Checking in the replay. Good reaction there by Brown. Not able to keep that ball up, though, unfortunately. That one ended up being out of bounds. And first timeout called by Coach Mallory. Tough start for the Colts so far, right? Grizzlies with a very consistent game, serving really well, being able to break the serve-receive line on the Colts side, and also on the other hand with a very consistent side out, right? Being able to capitalize on the opportunities, even when they don't have the pass up at the net there, even when the setter has to run and chase that ball. The pin hitters, they got options in the pins, they got options with a pipe hit. So Grizzlies right now demonstrating a lot of versatility, and that's what's making the difference right now.
I've got nothing better to say, Pedro. You've got all the volleyball experience here in the booth, so we've got about 5 seconds time. Going to take a quick little breather here. And on the other side is the Grizzlies leading at 16-10. Pedro and I jamming up here in the booth.
Vibes are definitely here.
Back underway. Grizzlies on the serve. Haggerty goes to Ruiz. Araujo to swing from the back line. Fires it into the net. And the timeout for Mallory goes way wide.
Again, the Colts playing out of system. John Ruiz had to improvise. The ball ended up being a little too far off the net. Araujo was not able to fix that.
The serve from Carroll is floated over. Haggerty gets it. The set goes into the middle. Poloski, a swing. Hard swing goes off the body of Carroll and out. Centennial finally breaks the service.
There you go. Good pass there by Jordan. Don Ruiz had to improvise, deciding only one hen. But ended up going on the Colts side right now.
Araujo will head back to serve for the Colts. Dug out by Smith. Roy's set comes close side. That's for Caught. The swing is off the hands of Deering, and Ruiz can't get there.
Very, very impressive swing there by jersey number 8, Emma Caught, I believe.
Yeah, Emma Caught, yeah.
Again, the Grizzlies out of system was not really an issue, right? Good serve by the Colts there, able to break the serve-receive line. But again, the Grizzlies showing a lot of power in that attack.
Colts go to the outside. Haggerty's blocked at the net. They'll get the ball back. Back outside to Haggerty. This one works. A little misstep from the Grizzlies, who go free ball. They're fired over the net. Brown and Haggerty leave it alone for a point, Centennial. So an 18-12 Georgian lead here late in set number 1. Giovanna Poloski will head back to serve for the Colts. Serve is good. Carroll. Roy keeps it alive to Seda. The powerful swing is out down the back line. For the first time in a long time, we've seen back-to-back Colt points.
Yeah, little by little getting back on the scoreboard there. Out a 5-point difference. Still a lot given the mark that we're into the set. So Colts are going to have to do some extra work here. That
whistle just didn't go as Poloski's.
Giovanna was lucky there because the referee took a little long to allow the serve in. If the referee blew the whistle a little earlier, that would have been a point to the Grizzlies. You cannot toss the ball and not serve. Once you have that ball up in the air, you have to hit it no matter what.
Luckily enough, no whistle. They'll take the point as Patricia Seda fired it out. Now a 4-point Georgian advantage. They'll go quickly into the middle. It's off the hands of Rojas on the swing from Tasha Bakes.
Another effective middle play by the Grizzlies there, showing a lot of versatility. The pass was not really great. Again, Mackenzie Roy doing a great job in finding her middles.
Seda back to serve, will fire her serve into the net. On the error, makes it back a 4-point Georgian advantage. Centennial will make a substitution as Ava Hamilton will come in. Looks like Jordan Haggerty will exit. So Hamilton will come in to serve. Hamilton, of course, regularly the libero for the Centennial Colts, but obviously Camille Ray Brown getting the start as Hamilton gets her swinger shirt on. The Grizzlies battle around at the back with it. Hamilton digs. Ruiz, the set goes to Deering. The powerful swing is blocked. Smith will set it close side. That goes to Cott. It rolls off the top of the tape and in front of the diving Poloski.
Great block there again by Mackenzie Roy, stopping Deering from scoring that ball. It was a powerful hit there by the Colts, but Grizzlies again showing a very structured defensive system.
Cott heads back to serve. Brown the receive. Ruiz will back set. Goes to Rojas, trying to roll it over the tape. Doesn't get there, and another point Georgia.
Sequence of a few good passes by the Colts there. Unfortunately, not able to actually run an effective offensive system. And that passing line can only hold for so long, right? We just got to see a short serve that caught Deering off guard there. And Colts struggling to send that ball back to the Grizzlies side.
It's now 3 points away from ending the first set as Georgian. The serve is handled. Ruiz set goes to Deering on the swing off the hands of Emma Cott into the roof and a Centennial point.
A redemption swing by Deering there. But with a lot of personality, a lot of power, able to get the serve back on the Colt side.
So the Colts, the set comes in, tipped over the net by the Grizzlies. Deering. Ruiz goes back to Deering, look to go over the net. It's tipped over. There's nobody there for the Colts. A little mistake between the Colts as the timeout has to be called after that point.
Checking in the replay. A little bit of a miscommunication between the setter and the left side. Don Ruiz set that ball a little too high. Deering was expecting a pretty fast-paced ball, right? And unfortunately, no one was there to cover that ball. And it seems that nothing's decided yet, but it seems like the set got a little bit of out of control. For the Colts, Andrew Mallory now reorganizing his team, trying to figure something out to at least get back stronger for the second set. Again, it's a very long game. And the good thing about the second set, it starts 0-0, right? So just got to keep your head up. Just got to focus on what we're doing wrong and try to fix it so we come out stronger for the second part of the game.
We will head ourselves to a break, a 23-16 Georgian lead as we head to break. And on the other side, the end of set number 1. Welcome back inside the Athletic and Wellness Center. Georgian to serve. It's fired over the net by Bakes and out the back. Point goes to Andrew Mallory there.
There we go. Cool the server down. It's what we call the coach's point.
So Kristen Don Ruiz will head back to serve. Over the net, it's handled by Cott. Momentarily, it goes over the net. Arujo tips it over, wins the battle with Roy. As Centennial keeps working their way back, they'll take that point.
Here we're figuring it out how to break the system, how to break the Grizzlies system, and capitalize on the chances that come out of that.
The serve from Ruiz is through the hands of a Grizzly. A nice diving save from Cott to keep it alive. Centennial quickly the other way to Arujo in the middle, but it's out far side of the court. Grizzlies take it, and they've pushed it to set point.
Good hustle there by the Grizzlies. Colts again, not able to capitalize, still being able, serving better out of the timeout, but not being able to capitalize on opportunities that they get out of that.
The serve Roy had, Brown able to keep it alive. Hamilton the free ball. Roy, Smith sets into the middle for Cott, another free ball the other way. Ruiz back sets to Deering with two blockers there. They'll keep it alive momentarily out of play. Couldn't keep it between the sticks was Corinna Brooks. And Centennial stays alive in the first set. It looks like we'll have a substitution as Katie Deering. Who's going to exit here?
Ava Hamilton going out, and Andrew Mallory cannot. I believe Andrew. Oh, there we go.
I figured it would be Deering.
Yeah.
With Deering serving, it would be Deering coming out and coming into the game. Is Sabrina Mora to serve?
Yeah, that wouldn't have been a legal substitution. The only player that can come in for Hamilton would be the same sub. Would be Hagarty.
Over the net, the serve by Mora. The Grizzlies go quickly in the backcourt. Mora the dig. Grizzlies now have it. Roy, back set into the middle. Caught, swing is out of play. And the men's team in front of me goes wild with Sabrina Mora.
That's a play to hype up the team, not only the team, but also the crowd, right? Great great dig there by Sabrina Mora, and very good patience game by the Colts there. Letting the ball roll out of bounds. Good play there, and great reaction by Mora.
Another good serve by Mora. The set goes into the middle. It's blocked at the net by Arujo as the Colts just won't go away in set number one.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Let's say even if this set doesn't go their way, that's a good start for the second set, right? Found some rhythm, found some pace. Good serving, good blocking. Again, Colts showing why they're second in solo blocks and sixth in blocks overall.
Serve from Mora, another good one. Look to find the floor. The Grizzlies kept it alive. Hamilton. Ruiz is going to set, goes to Arujo off the hands of Roy out the back of the court. Now take it over Sophia Arujo. We haven't heard her name a whole lot. It's going to force the Grizzlies to take a timeout. We're going to have an extended break. Why not? I need some water, a lot of talking. As the Grizzlies, a 24-22 lead, forced to take a timeout as we'll head to break. Welcome back inside the Athletic and Wellness Center. Set point Georgian, a 24-22 lead, but Centennial has been battling back in the hands of Sabrina Mora, who serves. Ashton Smith, the set goes into the middle, tipped over the net by Brooklyn Smith. Centennial has it, goes to Hamilton, swinging at the net, tipped over. Smith then tips it back over the net to the floor. Centennial with some good pressure came back in set number 1, but the Georgian Grizzlies win the first set by a score of 25-22.
I was hopeful the ref was going to call invasion on top of that, but Grizzlies take set number 1. We'll see. It's a good end for the Colts, though. They found a little bit of energy, found a little bit of their pace into the later points of the set. We'll see how they're going to bring that into the second set, though. A very important transition and a very important reaction that they need to bring out just to keep their heads in the game, keep focus, and keep the momentum going.
And we'll see what the lineup, of course, looks like. Sabrina Mora came in there and brought some energy to the team, possibly seeing her on the other side of the break. But we'll head to a timeout as the Grizzlies took set number 1, 25-22, as we will head to a break and have set number 2 on the other side. Welcome back inside the Athletic and Wellness Center. Set number 2 coming your way as the Grizzlies won the first one, 25-22. Centennial the first serve. Grizzlies have it. It'll be caught on the swing. Dug out by Mercado Mejia into the game. Zarujo tips it over the net. Smith sets close side to Carroll. It's rolled over the net by the block and out of bounds for a Centennial point as they'll get the first one, and those lineup changes like we mentioned coming out in full. Sabrina Morris still on the floor, and Mariana Mercado Mejia also on the floor. Serve from Ruiz is handled. Roy sets into the middle to Brooklyn Smith off the hands of Deering and out of play, and we're tied at 1.
Good play there by the Grizzlies. A great serve by the Colts, but an even better pass allowing the setter to play with the middle. A quick shot to the middle. Score side now 1-1.
The serve from Carroll. Brown digs it. Ruiz sets to Poloski. Fires the swing into the net. Grizzlies have back-to-back to start.
Just got to point out that the Georgian team is a fairly tall team, right? An average of about 5'9", 5'10". While the Colts are around like 5'8", 5'7".
Yeah,
so
Colts have always recruited small, at least in my time here at Centennial. They have always recruited small.
It's been a trend.
And even the taller ones do end up eventually leaving. That happens all the time. As Deering's serve flies over and out of play, and now to a 3-2 Georgian advantage. It's just tough to keep players around, and good players, tall players, doesn't matter what sport you're in. The OCAA is impossible to keep people for longer than 2 years.
It is a very difficult problem. Yeah, it's something that all teams struggle with, which makes recruiting crucial. Oh, someone touched my net there. Which makes recruiting a very difficult job, right? Recruiting has to be on point because the team can go from top 1 seeded to bottom seeded in the span of a year, right? It's very, very difficult for coaches to keep the level up as much as for like university teams, for example, who have their players for like 4 years.
Yeah, I just have to continue to recruit, because I don't care how big your recruiting class is. The next year you could lose every single one of them.
You just got to do it again and again.
Yeah, we're going to have to continue doing it. The Grizzlies' 2-point lead as Mora floats free ball over. Roy's going to set back line into the middle as the swing from Carroll's into the net, and a point Centennial.
Colts are now playing with 2 liberos in the court. Brown's coming in to play the serve receive, and the second libero will play defense.
Serve from Araujo's over the net. The set from Roy goes far side looking for Seda.
Again, good idea there.
Sorry,
I believe it was a good run. You saw number 8 on the Grizzlies side.
It was Emma Cott.
Going for a shorter set, right? Ended up getting a little too excited. Swung that into the net. But very creative play by Mackenzie Roy again.
This just threw my water bottle through the screen here up in the booth. Sophia Araujo, the set's going to go to Poloski. Tips it over the net, Georgian ball. Roy, it's set into the middle. The swing over by Bakes is dug out. Araujo now setting to Mora. It's blocked at the net. A team of Seda and Bakes gets the block for Georgian.
Again, a very structured Grizzlies team coming into the second set. Colts still struggling a little to find their pace. It is a better start, but not enough to overcome the Grizzlies' block at this point.
Seda back to serve. It's handled by Mora. Set from Ruiz. Goes to Poloski. It's blocked. Kept alive by Brown. Grizzlies now have the ball. Roy's going to set into the middle. The swing. Blocked at the net by Poloski. Ruiz now will set it close side. Mora also blocked. Centennial back with it. Ruiz goes back to Mora. 2 blockers at the net. Can't get it by the second time. And the Grizzlies get the point.
That's the thing. Today, both teams are going to have to get used to swinging 1, 2, 3 times if they want to score. Both teams doing a pretty good job defensively, but Grizzlies showing a little more power on that side out and counterattack. Great up by the Grizzlies there.
Ruiz back sets, goes to Poloski on the swing, is out far side of the floor. Another Georgian point.
Well-deserved there, point there by the Grizzlies. Great defense, again, showing a very compact defensive system. That's been, honestly, a very good point on the game.
Serve from Seda, powerful, fired into the tape for a Centennial point. They just seem to keep hanging around every single set here in set number 2, just down by 2. As they'll send back Giovanna Poloski to serve. The serve is good. The set from Roy, backline into the middle to Carroll. Dug out by Mercado Mejia. Set goes to Deering. The swing from the back line is fired into the net. And the back-to-back errors goes back the way of Georgia.
what I just said, right? You need to be a little more patient, right? It doesn't really, you cannot really just swing the ball as hard as you can and hope for the best. You just got to play a little more. There you go. That's a good block there again by the Grizzlies.
Another solo block. That one, I believe, was Mackenzie Roy, the setter, getting up for the block.
Yeah, Don Ruiz forcing a pipe again. The ball ended up being a little too far back. Daring was not able to get a good contact on that one.
The serve is handled by Brown. Poloski, the set goes to Deering. Roy, far side for Carroll, tipped over the block. Ruiz now quickly for Centennial. Mora fires it over the net. Roy sets to Seda. It's off the hands of Rojas and to the floor in the middle of the Colts defense.
What a swing there by Seda. Very, very powerful, reaching high, going for the blocker's hands. Very difficult ball to dig.
The serve from Cott is fired into the nets. The service error hands the ball back to the Colts. It'll be Sabrina Mora to serve. Serve from Mora is handled. The set's going to go to Carroll. It's blocked at the net. The Colts can't keep it up. That was off the hands of Ruiz and Rojas on the block. Didn't keep it tight enough as it rolled down their body.
The Colts need to press in their block a little more. I believe they're just reaching high instead of going over the net to keep the ball on the Grizzlies side. It's one thing Mallory should be talking to her blocker, especially Andrea. That has happened a few times tonight.
The set goes into the back line for Cott, who fires her swing into the net. We'll continue to trade errors here in the middle of set number 2. The Colts will send back Rojas to serve. Floated over the net. Caught, handled. Roy goes quickly to Smith. The swing is through the hands of the block and out of play for a Centennial point.
Yeah, the middle run that was working in the first set is not being very effective on the Grizzlies side in the second set. Mackenzie Roy having to improvise a little more. Cold serving a little better.
Caught the receive. The set goes back to Caught in the middle, dug out by Poloski. Ruiz sets close side to Deering. On the swing, it's blocked at the net.
Yeah, that ball ended up not going over. Didn't touch any of the Grizzlies blockers, and was called a 4th touch there by Don Ruiz, I believe.
So with the point, the Grizzlies will send back Roy to serve. Floated over the net. Mora. Ruiz goes to Poloski. The swing into the back corner is flagged out.
Just out. You see again in the replay, Don Ruiz had to run a little bit backwards. That ball, it's not the first time it happens actually. That ball ends up being a little too far back, and Giovanna had to reach back and swing that ball a little too high, ended up being out of bounds.
A serve by Roy is dug out. The set goes to Poloski on the swing into the middle. Caught, keeps it alive. Free ball for Centennial. Through the hands of Deering as Brown gets it into the middle, and a free ball the other way. Smith. Roy, back set going to Seda. It's tipped at the net. Ruiz now sets into the middle for Araujo. Look to force it a little bit, and it's blocked in the middle by Brooklyn Smith.
And a timeout by the Colts. Jack, they're going to replay the connection that worked towards the end of the first set between Don Ruiz and Araujo. It's not really on point right now. Araujo waited a little too long. I don't know what the call was, if it was a first tempo or second tempo. Second tempo would be a ball that's a little higher to catch their blockers on their way down, and you have a little more room to swing. I believe that was what Sophia went for, and Don Ruiz was not really able to catch that. A bit of a miscommunication issue there on the Colts side. And again, the Grizzlies showing a very consistent game. Right now, I believe their defensive system is a lot better, in my opinion, than it was in the second set, which is surprising, which is a very good thing for the visiting team. And the Colts not very patient to play with their free balls and get more opportunities to score on the chances they're creating, right? We just saw Daring not being able to pass a free ball, and the Colts team ended up having to send the ball back to the Grizzlies side, and the Grizzlies being very effective on their side out, being very effective on their counter-attack opportunities. They're capitalizing, they're scoring, they're going high, swinging with a lot of power. Colts are not really, they're kind of lost. They don't really know what to do.
Georgian just hasn't made a whole lot of errors, and especially in the game of volleyball, errors is what hurts you in every sense of the game. The Colts have been firing errors here, there, and everywhere. Georgian really hasn't done a whole lot of it. There's a reason why they're winning. Arujo tip over the net as Ray Brown couldn't keep it alive for the Colts, and another point, Georgian out of the timeout.
Completely agree with you there, Jack, especially at this level, the collegiate level. Volleyball is a game of whoever makes less mistakes, right? Whoever is a little more patient to play, to control the ball, and to play defense, most importantly, will end up being successful.
Ruiz battles at the net, keeps it alive for the Colts. Mora goes to Poloski on the free ball. Seda. Roy's going to set far side for Carroll. It's blocked by Arujo. The diving save by the Grizzlies and a free ball. Centennial. Deering goes to Ruiz. Back set into the middle to Arujo, tipped over the net. Roy now sets far side going to Carroll. The dig by Mora. Back the other way. Another swing off the hands of Smith. Rolls off the top of the tape into the floor.
Sabrina Mora right there with another very important defensive player there, checking into the replay. Unfortunately, Arujo did not get there on time to block that ball. A Grizzlies point again, but Sabrina Mora with a very good performance right now, coming out of the bench in the first set and staying for the second. A good serve there by the Grizzlies. Colts struggling once again with serve receive, which is also an important aspect of the game to keep you head-to-head with the other team, right?
I mean, if you can't receive a serve, how are you going to score points, Pedro? Of course. Absolutely. And Mackenzie Roy's been so good all day today. So, of course, another ace from Roy there. She floats another one. This one possibly by mistake that the Colts didn't touch that ball, but luckily enough for them, it flies out of bounds and a point for Centennial.
Yeah, right at the last moment, Brown realized that the ball was going out of bounds, had time to just watch it as the ball was going out.
The Grizzlies go into the middle. It was swung by Smith. Georgian was scared. Referee up top had no clue what his call was going to be there, but the Grizzlies do take the point, luckily.
That's one of those points that you just swing the ball hard and celebrate no matter what happens, right? Both line refs called that ball out of bounds, but the ref caught a touch on the block there, so ends up going on the Grizzlies side.
Ruiz back sets for Deering. The hard swing is off the hands of Brooklyn Smith on the block and out of play.
Double sub for the Colts right now. As we're checking into the replay, great swing by Daring there. Double sub, we got Ava Hamilton coming into second set. Daring's taking a break.
I believe that's Poloski as well. Poloski and Jordan Haggerty back into the game for Centennial. That double switch brings Hamilton back to serve as the Colts trail by 8 here in set number 2.
Not sure what Coach Mallory is going for with these subs. We'll see how that rolls out. Probably to get some extra defense stats, I believe. But the Grizzlies, again, showing a very consistent game. Able to swing that ball right on the corner there. Very difficult ball to dig. And again, once again, Georgia's point.
A serve from Brooklyn Smith, a powerful one. It's in front of Camille Ray Brown again for an ace. This time off the hands of Brooklyn Smith. Smith will head back to serve again, now doubling up the Colts in points. It's 20-10 Georgian. A serve from Smith, floated over the net. Hamilton handles it. Brown sets to Mora, tipped over the net. Georgian goes. Roy. Brooklyn Smith sets it in the middle for Carroll. Nobody home for the Colts in the middle of the floor.
Miss hit there by Carroll. Did not make good contact on that, but you can see the ball barely had any spin. She was lucky that it landed right in the middle of the court. No one's there to cover. Coach Mallory still got a timeout left. I wonder if that's happening this set.
The serve, another
Great
good one
save
into the
there by
corner.
Hamilton.
Dug out by Hamilton. Roy now for the Grizzlies. The set from Carroll goes to Cott, dug out again. Ruiz, Arujo in the middle, tipped over the net. Roy back sets, looking for Seda, the powerful swing as it goes off the hands of the block, and Sabrina Mora to the floor.
Yeah, this game's getting out of the Colts' control. Interesting to see they're being a little, they're trying to rush a little too much. That power tip went straight into the sixth defender there. And Georgian, again, being able to capitalize on those chances, right? Even out of system, even playing with the set, with their pins mainly. Being able to score, being able to keep the Colts on their toes, right? And a timeout called by Coach Mallory. Second timeout for the Colts there.
They're deep in a hole, Pedro.
Safe to say that...
That's what we're going to have to say. They're deep in a hole here.
Safe to say that this set is not looking very good for the Colts. Grizzlies 2 points away of taking the second set. Very, very difficult situation for the Colts, right? They're struggling with serve and receive. Their game's not really getting anywhere since they're not really able to fix their issues in serve receive, right? You see good service performance by the Grizzlies. And even though their serve receive line is, in my opinion, a little worse than it was in the first set, they are doing a great job in scoring the out-of-system balls, right? Swinging the ball deep with a lot of power. Colts are sometimes able to defend, but not able to swing that ball back to counterattack, right? Georgian's playing with free balls. Georgian's with a lot of comfort, a lot of room to be creative, right? Mackenzie Roy, once again, very creative, running their middles in every possible route that volleyball allows, which make the difference for the Grizzlies in the second set.
Back outside the timeout, Brooklyn Smith will be back to serve for the Grizzlies as 2 point away from taking a 2-0 lead. Ruiz set into the middle as Mercado Mejia plays it over the net. Roy into the middle, quickly off the hands of the block as Tasha Bakes pounds it off the hands of Arujo.
I believe there was a net touch there on the Grizzlies side when the middle was about to swing that ball, but ref didn't catch that, I believe, or maybe I'm just biased.
The Grizzlies now have set point to serve from Smith. Ruiz handles it, set, goes to Arujo, tipped over the net. Smith handles it, now goes to Cott quickly on the set, off the net to the floor, and the Grizzlies a 2-0 set lead as they win set number 2 by a score of 25-10.
Yeah, so that reaction in the first set by the Colts, didn't really see that coming into the second set. It was a bit of a tight game at first, but the Grizzlies quickly found their way back, quickly were able to regain their pace. And this set, they absolutely controlled the entire game, right? Even when things were not really going well, they played out of system. When Mackenzie Roy had to play with her pins, the middle was mainly there to block. Pins still did a great job swinging the ball high, reaching for the corner. Outstanding performance by the Grizzlies right now. Definitely deserve the second set. The Colts, a little shy in my opinion, right? They got to bring their players up to that challenge, right? Which is playing against those tall hitters on the Grizzlies side and fix their defensive system, in my opinion, as well. Didn't really work that well. They're touching a lot of the swings, but not really able to do anything out of those chances, right? So Colts a little lost. Hopefully they fix, they identify those issues and bring that onto the third set. And we can only hope for a reverse sweep here, right? It's 5-0 for the Colts right now. And the Grizzlies are now in a really, really comfortable spot coming into the third set. And we'll see how that rolls out, right? Grizzlies with a very lighthearted game, and the Colts a little bit struggling a little bit to find their pace, right? We got some good momentum, we got some bad momentum, right? And we'll see how that happens into the third set.
I mean, we need some momentum shifts. I will promise you that. The Grizzlies, I'm taking a look at the two benches in between these two sets. Centennial side, they're all sitting down, getting a drink of water. There's no energy really at all on the Centennial side of the bench.
You just got to take a deep breath, right?
Grizzlies are dancing over there, Pedro. They're having the time of their life dancing over in their huddle, and the Colts just seem to be just
see
reeling.
Coach Mallory approaching his players, probably talking about the issues that happen. You see Ava Hamilton with the libero jersey right now. Probably one of the adjustments that the Colts are making for this third set. Let's see how that happens. Ava, a very experienced player, third year out of Winnipeg. Coming in to add some experience to this Colts squad. Colts squad, fairly new, fairly unexperienced, but with a lot of potential. You got some great players in the squad and players that have been playing together for a while, even in their rep career. So that can be a chance for the Colts to find their way back in this game.
So we are outside of the timeout, just getting lined up here for set number 3. The Grizzlies, of course, leading 2-0, 25-10 and 25-22 so far today. The Grizzlies have not really slowed up at all today, just bringing everything they've got towards the Centennial Colts. Of course, this is the final game for the Centennial Colts. But on the other side, the Grizzlies still got one to go before they hit the Christmas break. They will travel back home to take on the Algonquin Wolves on Saturday. That'll be their final game before Christmas, so they still got one more to go as the Colts got to leave everything on the line here in set number 3. We're underway. Mackenzie Roy, the serve, is dug out by Hamilton, goes over side to Haggerty, dug out by Smith momentarily, but hits the stand, and Centennial first point of set number 3.
New player on the Grizzlies side, jersey number 11. We got Ava Dubois-Wood for the first time in the game tonight. And on the Colts side, we got Sabrina Mora as the P1. Right now, Katie Daring got pushed to P2. P1, Jack, if you didn't know that, is usually your strongest hitter, right? P2 is your composition left side, usually the most well-rounded player, best passer and everything. Sabrina Mora showing a very outstanding performance tonight, right? Aggressive on the swings, very consistent on defense. Got put into P1, and let's see how that affects the Colts game right now.
Put down to the floor, Brooklyn Smith, after the missed pass from the Colts in the middle. They'll take the point, a 2-1 Georgian lead. And Pedro, that's why we bring you on here, because I would have had no idea. I wouldn't have explained it like that at all, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, another one is Giovanna Poloski in the bench now. And we got Jordan Hagarty as a right side. Swinging out of the right side, jersey number 10, Hagarty, as we got Arujo to serve right now. The serve from Arujo is fired into the tape as Georgian takes another point. Mentioned a couple lineup changes. You also see the Grizzlies have brought onto the court number 17, Paige Cahill, has joined the middle for the Grizzlies. The serve is played over. Haggerty, free ball to Georgian. Roy quickly into the middle, was looking for Cahill. It's blocked by Rojas. Yeah, Rojas up there, a great block, reaching high. Very athletic player, able to stop the very effective middle runs that the Grizzlies have had tonight. A serve by Haggerty is short, put into the net as the Arrow hands the point back to Georgian. Again, if the Colts want to push this game into the 5th set, they got to fix their service. Out of the 4 points that the Grizzlies scored right now, I believe it was like 2 or 3 mistakes. And those, they ended up being pretty high cost at the end of the set. The serve from Dubois-Wood is a bit too far and out the back of the court, so we'll trade service errors as Grizzlies will make a substitution and take out Dubois-Wood and bring Bella Heath back onto the floor. Katie Deering back to serve for Centennials. We're tied at 4. Deering the serve over the net. It's handled by the Grizzlies. The set comes close side to Cott. Tipped at the net. Dug out by Haggerty. Hamilton sets far side looking for Mora. It's blocked. Roy now goes into the middle. The swing to Brooks is
tipped at the net and out of play. So the Grizzlies will take the point.
There. Yep. Seems like Rojas did touch that ball, even though that ball rolled out of bounds. There's the Grizzlies' point.
Ruiz back set goes to Rojas. Heath handles it. The set into the back line to Caught. A powerful swing is dug out by Deering. Mora keeps it alive. Ruiz a free ball. Roy back set. Looking for newly in Paige Cahill. It's out of play.
That's a great example of what the Colts need to do, right? A great swing there by jersey number 8 on the Grizzlies, Emma Caught. The Colts are being able to stop that, right? Gave that ball back, and the Grizzlies rushed a little too much to have to get that point. The ball ended up being out of bounds. And those are the things that you need to focus on, right? You got to wear the other team out. You got to get them tired.
Ruiz will set into the back row. It's to Deering. It's dug out by Heath. Set again to the back row for the Grizzlies as Caught fires it out of play.
Once again, good defensive play by the Colts. Good run by Don Ruiz. Found a great pipe with Deering there. And the Georgian Grizzlies, even though they got a good touch on that ball, not able to send it back. Good start by the Colts here.
The Colts have their first lead since all the way back to 1-0 really in the first set. Fired off the body of Deering back over to the Grizzlies. The set to Caught in the back row. Played over for Centennial. They'll set to Deering, looking to play it over the net. The point goes to the Grizzlies. They were looking for a point. I don't know why they were looking for a net touch there, Pedro.
Yeah, same thing that I pointed out last set. That power tip came a little too early, I believe, right? It was a good set by Don Ruiz. Deering coming off a good swing. Eventually helped. Oh. That's unfortunate. Bit of a miscommunication there on the Colts side. Hagarty thought the ball was going in, and while Deering was just watching it rolls out of bounds. Those mistakes that I was referring to, they end up being a little costly at the end of the set.
Ruiz set goes to Deering, and her swing is rolled over the back line of this swing. So the Grizzlies now out to a 2-point advantage.
Yeah, 2 mistakes in a row. Hopefully the Colts are able to shake it off and just get their heads back in the game. That's a big one. Get the serve back. Make sure you got a good serve. Make sure you get the other team to play out of system as much as you can. That's the only way, honestly, the Colts are going to be able to push this game into the 5th set and eventually get a win.
Serve from Ruiz is fired into the back row, but over the head of Heath and out the back for a point Georgian. As they'll make a substitution, Heath will exit and bring back on Dubois Wood. Mackenzie Roy will head back to serve for Georgian as they now lead 9-7 in set number 3. Serve from Roy through the hands of Mora, but the Colts keep it alive. Goes to Haggerty. Rolled over the net. Smith. Roy back set for Dubois Wood. It lands on the line at the back and a well-placed swing from Ava Dubois Wood.
Yeah, those deep swings are very difficult to dig, right? They're those that you think that ball's going out of bounds, a little too high to bump it, a little too low to volley it, and then the only thing you can do is pray for the best.
Serve from Roy off the hands of Hamilton. Mora sets to the back, a free ball by Deering. Played over the net. Roy, Smith, rolled over by Brooks. The diving dig by Mora. Hamilton free ball. Now Georgian. Roy sets quickly into the middle for Smith off the hands of Ruiz. Chasing it down is Deering and Hamilton. Nobody there, and a point Georgia.
Good up there by Sabrina Mora, but Araujo ended up not having any options there to set. And the Colts, again, after a good dig, had to send a free ball back to the Grizzlies side. And Grizzlies being very aggressive on those free ball opportunities. Again, taking the control over the game in the 3rd set.
Served by Roy. Hamilton's pass. Ruiz sets to Mora. The swing cross court is off the hands of Mackenzie Roy, and out of play on the swing for Mora.
Good swing there by Mora. Saw that ball went a little too much past the antenna. She was able to take it back. Swing a sharp cross there. Got the service back on the Colts side.
And Mora will head back to serve. That one's handled. The set's going to come close side. Dubois Wood tipped over the net. Ruiz, a nice diving dig. Set goes to Deering, who rolls it over. Smith, far side to Brooks. Dug out by Ruiz. Put back down over the net by Dubois Wood.
Colts were hoping for a net touch there by Ava Dubois Wood. The ref just let it roll.
So Karina Brooks will serve for the Grizzlies. Over the net, Mora. Ruiz goes to Deering on the swing down to the floor. We've got no net touch. It'll be a point Centennial, of course. He was looking for a call, didn't get it. So Centennial will have the point.
Very happy, just had the chance to talk here with Zach Orad, former Colt as well. Played for the team on the 2023-24 season. Came here to watch Bella.
Yeah, unfortunately he's cheering on the wrong team now that he's in the building, but he's...
At least for the first game, right?
Yes.
I'd say it's fair. Not going to blame him on that.
But it's nice to see Zach. We barely see him now. Obviously with Bella and Barry, we don't get to see Zach a whole lot, but one of the great liberos in art 2 times here, Pedro. Orat was very, very good for you guys. In his, what was it, 1 year, 2 years that he played for us?
Zach played for Centennial 2 years, and I had the chance to play with him in the 2023-24 season. The year we eventually made to provincials, our Final Four, is the first time in 30 years. That was a tough one to forget. I always love to talk about it.
It was a fun weekend, yeah. Pedro. I was still there as well. It was a fun weekend. Tough losses, but oh well.
Yeah.
We look back on it.
The memories are good, though.
Inside this game, Deering rolls it over the net. It's dug out. The set goes in the middle, was looking for Cahill, and that timing is just off.
Set was a little too high. Grizzlies attacker was not really able to get a good touch on it. One of the first times there's actually a miscommunication issue between the setter and the middles. Actually, those connections have been going pretty well all night.
Dubois Wood tips it over the net. The Colts have it. Hamilton sets far side for Deering on the swing. Is too far, and a point Georgian. So the Grizzlies now up by 4 in set number 3. As Dubois Wood will head back to serve. Serve from Dubois Wood is rolled into the net.
Spin serve there. Not really common to see.
Yeah, don't see a whole lot of those in the women's game for sure.
Volleyball, yeah. We mentioned that in the warm-up. We were watching both teams warming up, and we saw some of those being very effective. Fortunately, that one found the net. Katie Deering going for another spin serve here. Also found the net. Both teams trading 3 points as the Grizzlies head back to serve now.
A serve from Cott. Hamilton's pass a little bit wide, but Mora back in the middle. Ruiz a free ball. Smith. Roy sets into the back row for Cott. The swing goes into the net, and Centennial takes the point.
Also something unusual that I've noticed a lot tonight, the amount of pipes, amount of back row hits, right? You got Emma Cott specifically with a very, very powerful hit. Fortunately, was not able to capitalize on the past few opportunities, but being very effective even in the front row.
A smart tip over by Roy, but Haggerty keeps it alive for Centennial. Roy sets all the way across the court. The swing by Brooks is off the hands of Ruiz and out of play.
Very shallow defensive system on the Colts side. We saw Deering almost on the attack line there. I don't know if that's by design or if it was a very situational thing.
During the dig, Ruiz goes quick set into the middle for Araujo, and a missed time on the pass between Ruiz and Araujo gives the point to the Grizzlies as they now have a 5-point lead. 17-12 here in set number 3. Of course, we've got one more game for you today, as the men's team will be playing host to the Grizzlies afterwards, 30 minutes after the completion of this one. So stick around for that one. Our final game here on Colts Net Live of first semester. The Colts are unable to get the ball over the nets. Called for the 4-touch and back the way of Georgian, who take the point.
You got some fresh legs on the Colts side. Again, this game is not out of the Colts' reach, but it's good to remember that they still have 2 timeouts. They haven't called any yet in this third set. And as we're approaching the end of the set, it might be a good idea to have your team reorganized too, right? They're playing well. They're not playing. It is a fairly consistent game. They're just not really able to capitalize on their side out as much as they should. Again, a power tip straight to the 6th defender there. Colts not really able to keep that ball in play after. The Grizzlies send it back. And a timeout called by the Colts there. A little too late in my opinion. They got a tough task ahead of them. They got to fight back 7 points, as the Grizzlies are only 6 points away of getting conquering another win, right? Very difficult task by the Colts here. Not impossible, definitely not impossible, but most definitely a difficult one, right? Coach Mallory right now reorganizing his team, probably talking about the defensive system that has not worked in the last few points. I believe they're a little too shallow, and the Grizzlies are doing a great job in finding the deep corners, right? Finding the last meter of the court. Those are very difficult balls to dig, right? And Colts, on the other hand, are playing too shallow. Those balls are not really defensible. And we'll see how the team's going to look like in this third set, but at the end of this third set, want to see what adjustments are being made.
Serve from Cahill. Dug out by Mora. Ruiz goes over the net into the corner. Nobody home for the Grizzlies.
Good pass there by Mora. It's also a good idea to call a timeout to get your team to take a deep breath, right? Colts have struggled with serve receive. And right now, coming straight out of timeout with a very good play there. And a good serve by Don Ruiz there. Going into serve.
Colts were in a bit of mayhem before that, as Coach Mallory wanted to make his substitution back, Deering for Brown, but the whistle blew too early, so they were kind of running around trying to figure out where their position needed to be. As Hamilton digs it out, Ruiz sets far side for Mora. The swing off the hands of Smith and out the back, and a point for Sabrina Mora, who has been very impressive so far for Centennial.
We talked about Mackenzie Roy all night, but on the Colts side, Sabrina Mora with a very, very consistent performance. Very impressive. First-year player with a very good performance against a very good team, a very tall team. It's always good to see.
Arujo blocked at the net. Mora keeps it up. Ruiz is going to set to Mora now. The swing again off the hands of 2 diving Grizzlies who keep it alive off of Smith. Ruiz sets quickly in the middle of Arujo. It's tipped. Grizzlies back the other way. A little mistake as Haggerty gives it back the way of the Grizzlies into the middle of the court. Hamilton looking for Mora. The set tipped over. Roy's now going to go on the second touch, as we'll go back and forth ping pong style. Haggerty, the swing, it's blocked. Roy now sets backwards, was looking for Dubois Wood. It's blocked again. Grizzlies over. Ruiz, Hamilton to Mora, tips it into the back corner. Dug out by Kowanowski. The set to Brooks, the swing dug out by Hamilton. They'll go back to Mora, far side, and this swing out the back of the court. And the longest point of the day goes to the Grizzlies.
That was a very long rally, right? Very unfortunate that did not go the Colts side. But a very good exchange of powerful swings for both teams here.
Grizzlies 5 point away from taking the victory here today. They'll send Mackenzie Roy to serve. Serve, a line drive dug by Mora. Ruiz, the set goes out wide. Haggerty tips it over the block. It ends up to the side of Centennial. Reset, same side to Mora on the swing. Just gets underneath it, and it doesn't get over the net.
Great defensive play by Mackenzie Roy there. In my opinion, the MVP of tonight, if it goes to the Grizzlies side, right? Mackenzie Roy, definitely the most valuable player for tonight. Very important player for the Grizzlies.
The serve from Roy is handled by Hamilton. The set's going to go far side. Rougeau on the swing. Dug out by Smith. Grizzlies set quickly into the middle. Miscommunication between Brooks and Roy on the set, and a point to Centennial, as they'll finally make that substitution.
Yeah,
Deary checks back in.
Checking again in the replay. Royals trying to find Smith on the middle there. Pushing a shoot out of like a pretty bad pass, like a bad pass that's off the net. Was not able to find, and it led to a mistake on the Grizzlies side.
Morris' serve is mishandled by Kolanowski as it's unable to stay alive. Karina Brooks got there, but the point goes to Centennial.
Yeah, good effort there by Brooks. The Grizzlies still treating this game as there's nothing decided. Colts are down 4 points on the scoreboard right now. Difficult task, but again, not impossible.
Serve from Morris off the body of Smith, and nobody's able to get there as Kolanowski and Brooks couldn't get there, and another point. Centennial have started their own run.
Sabrina Mora with a very good serving sequence, getting the Colts slowly back into the game.
Serve by Mora is handled this time by Brooks. Roy sets, blocked at the net by Deering. And the Colts out of their timeout have got all sorts of momentum. They brought it back to a 2-point game.
Great read there by Deering. Very good block. Good run again by the Grizzlies, but Deering was able to anticipate that ball and not let it go to the Colts side.
A serve from Mora is fired into the Georgian bench. A good run from Sabrina Mora. But with the error, we'll end the run and hand it back to the Grizzlies. We're now 3 points away from ending it.
You never want to end a sequence with an error, but it's a good run by Mora there. See how the Colts are going to react to the Grizzlies' strong service.
Mora digs out the serve, goes to Rougeau. Rougeau tips it over the net. Smith the dig. Roy quickly into the middle to the other Smith. It's tipped over the net, out of the reach of Mora to the floor, and Grizzlies looking to get all the way there.
Ava Hamilton ended up getting a touch on that ball. I believe it was going out. Not sure. I don't have the greatest view on that one. As the Colts called the second timeout, and Grizzlies 2 points away from closing this game, taking a 3-set victory back home, back to Barrie. Difficult situation for the Colts right now. Again, timeouts called a little too late. I don't think at this point of the game there's a lot they can do because the Grizzlies are going on a run. The Grizzlies are going, they're playing a very organized game. So we'll see how the Colts come back. But Grizzlies showing an outstanding performance in my opinion. A team that has grown a lot over the past few years. And showing, especially this season, what they're looking to get right there. I believe it's a team that's going to host playoffs, a team that's going to potentially make to pass the first round of playoffs. And we see the Colts with a lot of potential as well. Struggling a little bit to find their pace in the game, but with a lot of potential. A lot of things can still happen in the season. So the season is only halfway through. We'll see how that's going to roll out.
We are outside of the timeout. The Grizzlies will be serving. Sabrina Brooks is back to get us back underway. The serve from Brooks. Hamilton the dig. Ruiz sets far side to Deering. The swing goes off the hands of the block and out of play. So out of the timeout, the Colts continue their strong play as of late. They'll make a substitution. Looks like Sophia Rougeau will come out of the game, and into it will be Mariana Mercado Mejia to serve for the Colts as they have foregoed all size on the floor. They've gone small set for the final couple points. As the whistle blows, and we are getting ready to get back underway as Mercado Mejia the serve. Over the net, Smith. Set by Roy, goes to the other Smith. It's tipped over the net, finds the back line. As the Grizzlies with their 24th point make it match point Georgian.
Yeah, middle connection that's been working all night. Now on to match point.
Smith is back to serve, looking to end it. Serve from Smith is rolled into the net off the tape. The Colts will stay alive. I'll send back Jordan Haggerty to serve. Haggerty served over the net. Brooks, back set by Roy, is over the net. Dubois Wood on a little bit of a fake swing, hits the floor. It'll end the set. It'll end the game as the Grizzlies win it 25-21 in set number 3 and win it 3-0. Pedro?
Tough one for the Colts there. Grizzlies definitely came out ready, knowing what they were going up against. The Colts, which is natural, the Colts, they had ups and downs. They had a good first set, good comeback in the first set. Second set, it was a bit of a hit, I believe. And in the third set, I feel like they're still trying to figure out how to get out of that mentality that they were in the second set. But they did figure out eventually. I feel like that as a lesson, that comes out as a opportunity to improve, right? It was a good reaction they had in the third set and in the first set, and they just got to take that as a lesson. So if I were to dictate the takeaways of a game, it would be definitely that, right? It would be getting out of trouble as a team, and I believe they did that with a fairly level of success, but not able to stop a very effective Grizzlies team right now.
So with that being said, Pedro will go to what comes next for the Georgian Grizzlies. They move to 5-2 on the season, and their next game will be Saturday, November 29th, as they'll play host to the Algonquin Wolves. Game times at 1 and 3. That'll be their final game before the Christmas break. Meanwhile, for the Centennial Colts, that break comes exactly when they needed it, as they have finished their first semester. With the loss, they go to 3-5 heading to the break and need as much rest as possible, anything they can get back heading into semester 2. But we've got one more game coming for you, Pedro, so we will take a step aside. We'll give it a break as the men's team will be playing host to the Georgian Grizzlies. For Pedro Castellato and producer Leo Solorsano, my name is Jack Middleton. Thank you for joining us on Colts Net Live, and we'll see you in 30 minutes time for the men's game.